Welcome back to Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, the Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back to the Lovely Lab. I have some exciting news to announce. And before we get started, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the lovely crafty uploads here in the Lovely Lab. And for those of you who are coming back and are current subscribers, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching the videos, liking, sharing, commenting, and just, providing feedback, because it also helps me determine what it is that you guys like. So all that being said, I just wanted to come on to share a project that I was working on, which actually inspired this in which I'm getting ready to show you. So a lot of times when I'm creating, I create for people in my sphere of influence, and my family and my friends, and majority of us are, followers of Christ, Christians, people who just love the Lord. And so I'm often searching for things that I can use in crafting, be it digital downloads, stamps, and things of that nature. And I'm not always able to find exactly what I'm looking for. So for this particular project, I needed basically some song quotes. And I didn't find any, not any, Christian themed or worship themed, song quotes readily available for digital download. So I had no choice but to create them. And so as a result, I pondered the idea of whether or not I should offer them. Should I share them? What else could I do? Because I know I can't be the only person who has this dilemma. So, after teetering, and debating and deliberating, I decided to go ahead and just offer them in my Etsy shop. I haven't done a lot of listings in there as of lately, because most of the work that I do, they are custom, commission pieces or custom creations, and so I don't even have an opportunity to list them, because as soon as I make them, they're off in the mail or handed off or picked up. So what I'm going to share with you is the first PDF that I'm going to list in the Etsy shop, and by the time that you guys see this, there'll be a link below. If you're interested, you too can go on over to the Etsy shop and drop a few coins, meager pennies, I say, and download the digital the PDF. And it's also another way for me to support the channel and, continue to craft and create. And, being a mom, I'm not really working like that just yet. It also helps to offset the cost of what I do. So anyway, so here it is. I wanted to create some song quotes, some tiles, that you could use in crafting and you could decorate around. I didn't want it, the first set, not this set, I didn't want it to be too decorated or ornate, so I went with a basic antique or distressed, if you will. So here we have a few of the quotes. And as you can see, these are songs that are currently on the radio or are classics. A few of them I have are my personal favorites. Actually, most of them are my personal favorites. And also, I've added a couple of journaling cards. Now, I printed this on cardstock, your standard cardstock, white cardstock that you buy at the Walmart or any place else. And it came out very well. And if you notice, there's a little bit of a shadow in the background, so that if you don't have inking tools, you can cut along the edge and still have somewhat of a distressed look without having to spend the money to get the tools. So there we have that. And then on here, the background of these is the antique paper, the antique music notes. And there's the antique piano, and then there's the little violin there. And so that's what we have, guys. Livie's Lovelies first inspirational song quotes PDF. So if you are interested in that, click the link below. It'll head on. You can head on over to the Etsy shop and purchase this, and you'll have it available to download as often as you want to, and you can incorporate that into your projects. Now, what prompted and inspired this was a little mini journal that I wanted to create for my aunt for Christmas. Now, my first introduction to Christ in church was through my aunt. She's an evangelist and my uncle is a minister, and so they were very active in the church, and she's very close to my heart because she's my mom's sister. And so when we're in church, or actually anywhere, oftentimes we just got to sit down, take notes, and in church you want to write down some scriptures or the verses, and so you can go back home and reflect back on them. So I wanted to make her something that had a vintage feel but still had a modern look to it, or should I say a modern feel with a vintage look. Either or, I wanted to incorporate both yesterday and today. So one of the songs that we would sing in the van, because my aunt and uncle had 6 girls, so they had a 15-passenger van, because they would also pick kids up on the way to church and bring them into church along with other family members, people in the church who had families. So they were kind of like the unofficial church van, if you will. And so a lot of times in the van, they pop that cassette in, and the whole van would be rocking to some worship song, and it was always a great experience. We had a lot of fun in that van, and we took a lot of trips in that van. My love of music, especially worship music, was created and grew. All that being said, guys, here's one of the tiles. This tile right here says, "A little birdie told me to tell you that God loves you." And so I put a little bird there. And so on this journal, you'll see a little bit of stitching, some lace. This is actually vintage music paper from a hymnal book that I picked up at a thrift store. And then it says "Best Ever" right there in the gold foiling. So you'll see a little bit of gold foiling throughout. You'll see the vintage flowers along with modern day flowers. A little bit of fabric, the pleated lace stitched down with the zigzag stitch, and then the closure is just a little piece of lace that I've sewn right there. Now, this is an envelope, a mini envelope journal. So inside the first pocket is a tag, a journaling card, tag, if you will. I'm going to set that down. And then there's various pages. Here's one of the journal cards that's made out of this sheet here. There we have it. It says "Love." Okay. And on the back, there's a little stamp, some crochet trim, and more stitching. And that's right here in this little pocket that has the gold foiling and the ballerina dancing to the music, because there's a ballerina in all of us, isn't it? Okay. And then there's a little coloring sheet. We like to doodle as we talk and what have you. And then there's "Greater is the one living inside of me than he who is living in the world." And I've actually sung that in worship when I was on the worship team. There's another journaling tag there. It's got the photo. It says, "I'm not living for applause. I'm already so adored." You guys know the song. I'm quite sure you're familiar with it. It's not played often today, but maybe last year it was on the top 20. And on the back, she can just journal something there. A little stamp that says "Life is beautiful." And then, some ledger paper, some graph paper, a little flip out, a little pocket there, watercolor stenciled, let's see, yeah, watercolor stencil on coffee dyed paper. And then there's just some school book paper there for my son's stash that he's no longer using because he's not in first grade anymore, which is when we were using it. And a little journaling tag. His eye is on the sparrow, so I know he watches me, and that's from the 80s, actually. I think that song came out in the 80s. And this is from a Bible study group that I and my son would go to in between, during our homeschool week. And then this is from a Asian print from an art book. And this came out of a magazine. I'm not going to bore you guys with all of the details. There's that a bird stamp of the little birdie. And then there's that coffee dyed, a little piece of the coffee dyed doily printed coffee dyed paper. Some more of the hymnal book. I think that was from the 1940s or 50s. I'm not sure. I can't remember what year it was. This one says, "What is it you think you see? It's the God in me, and that's Mary, Mary." And then that's closed there. This little one signature is attached right there. And actually, it's attached to this cardstock, this coffee dyed cardstock, which is glued down with all the glue in the world. And so the opposite side has a few of the same features. And that's just, what is it? It's paint spray or liquid paint stenciled on of the little birdie. That's just a reminder for us that, when you see the bird, if God cares for the birds and he covers the birds and he feeds the birds, what more will he do for you? Plant smiles, grow laughter, harvest love. A promise and a command. And then here's another little journaling card tucked inside of here, and it says, "A little birdie told me," and that just happens to be from a stamp set that I purchased. I think AliExpress, or that might have been gifted to me. I'm not quite sure. And this says, "Be the light," and that's oh gosh, you guys know who. Her name is escaping me, but she's known for the florals. I can't remember her name right now, but that's from her collection. There's a few little crosses there. And that's a flip out as well. Journal paper, flip out. And then one of those old planner pages that I showed you guys in one of the previous videos with the lace on the side. You can write right there. Camera. You have an audience of one. Keep that in mind. He's always watching and he's always cheering for you. Happiness blooms from within. And here's another journaling card. I thought that was so pretty with the flowers there. And then you can journal on the back. Think happy. And then here is the final journaling card with the sheet or the hymnal. And then I just sewn the tag up top, stitched around it, and similar to the back. So that is what I made for my dear sweet Aunt Ellen. I hope she likes it. I believe she will, because she likes anything that I make for her. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to be working on some wedding or some bridal party gifts, because she's getting married again next year. They've been divorced for about over a decade now. So while that chapter has closed and ended for her, God has blessed her with someone who honors her and loves her in her, older days. And so we're looking forward to celebrating the union of those two. But in the meantime, so this is what I made for her. And I have a few other things that I'm going to put in a nice little box, some candles and, things to help her stay relaxed and calm during this wedding preparation time. And something just to remind her of how important of a role she has played in my life, especially after the death of my mom when I was 14. She has always helped to keep me focused and been an inspirational, point of inspiration for me at all times, and always provides me with godly and sound wisdom. And, if it weren't for her and my uncle, I probably would not be the woman that I am today. So, it's nice to be able to create for people who inspire you like that. And so that was one of the things that moved me to create this PDF. And so again, I hope that if this is something that you're interested in, click the link below. I'm excited to share this new product, this new creation with you guys, and I hope that you too can it'll inspire you to create something for yourself if you are a lover of Christ like I am, or for those who you want to gift these type of things to. And I also have some already, I'll be releasing additional ones, additional quotes like this, probably some different formats and different size tiles. Maybe something that you could punch out with the 1.5 or 2-inch circle punch. And in addition, I also have some floral themed digitals that I'll be adding, and they'll be just something simple that you can download, and they won't be too ornate because they'll serve as a background for you to dress up how you want to and just add to your creative stash. So anyways, guys, with that being said, I just want to thank you for coming back, for watching it, and for allowing me to share my gift, my inspirations with you guys, and sharing a little bit of my history and my story with you. And until we're back here again on YouTube, guys, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafting. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafting community, and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.